Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? This is Just Plain Nonsense.
And I'm Josh.
And I'm Rob.
I'm Michael.
You're supposed to say your name first.
I know. I want to throw you off.
You definitely did, because I'm sitting there looking at you like with these expectant eyes.
Yeah, the viewers are all like, come on, say it. Did you forget your line?
Yeah.
All right, so we have
didn't forget your line.
got Jay Willie on the show again today.
Howdy.
And he is actually going to lead this one because he has some what if questions that he wants to ask us.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to hear these questions, and I don't know if I'm going to have any good answers or not. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to have good answers either. I didn't. So
What did you do?
the reason that I'm doing this, I talked about a few episodes ago, probably a little while ago now, about how my brother passed away. And he would carry this book around with him all the time. It's this like a big black book. On the front says "If." It's questions for the game of life. And he just liked to get to know people, and they would spur discussion where you could have one of these questions and then just a bunch of follow-up questions where you end up having a really long discussion about some crazy stuff, and the topics go all over the place.
Well, that's exactly what we like for this kind of thing.
So I picked some of the ones that I thought would probably make a pretty good discussion for Just Plain Nonsense, and got them here. So I tried to do my best not to really think about what I would answer.
That's
that
really
way.
hard.
Yeah.
Whenever you start looking at that stuff, your brain just kind of runs away.
But I mean, so if my answers are better, it's because I had longer to prepare for.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what would be the best one to start off with. Let's see here.
Let's start off with the one at the top.
Okay. If you could eliminate any one type of insect permanently from the earth, what would you get rid of?
Oh, man. That's a great question.
Can I say all of them?
Nah, just one. Only one.
They're like they all bug me.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah. I love that you're jumping on the
which
pun
one?
wagon, man.
I
I
did
love
that
it.
just for you, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me happy. Okay, that's a really good question. Because like me naturally, okay, I'm going to try to get rid of the thing that's on the back of my mind of how it affects the ecosystem long term, because all bugs have it. So I'm just going to think about the most annoying one that I hate.
Yeah.
Probably it's a toss up between ants and roaches. Let me think here.
Roaches are disgusting. Ants I don't have a problem with.
Ants are the most annoying to me, and roaches are the most disgusting.
Have you ever looked at a roach's eyes, like the little black spots on
Yeah.
its face? I don't know if that's actually its eyes or not, but
Yeah, I
it
don't
looks like just disgusting.
You've gotten up close and personal with some roaches, huh?
Well, I mean, I used to live in Houston, Texas, and they were like everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So you want to hear a story about that before you answer?
Yes.
This is
It gives me time to think.
It's a
Go ahead.
super disgusting story about roaches. So we lived in Houston, Texas, and they're just everywhere, and they're big too. Like there's some that are like bigger than like probably a pecan or like even bigger than that. And I had one that was climbing up on the washer, and it ran under this box of like canned goods like we had. And he ran under there, and I smashed it down, and literally everything inside that bug came out and splattered on my chest.
Ugh.
And it smelled like death. I was so sick because it was absolutely disgusting.
That's disgusting.
But I still had to lift it up just to make sure it was dead. It's like, it was obviously dead. But I had to lift it up just to make sure.
I have my answer.
He has his answer.
Neither. Mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
So have you ever seen like up close like what a mosquito does when it like goes in?
Yeah, it's weird. But I mean, if you have a interesting...
No, I was just asking if you've ever seen it because it's super disgusting. If I can find a video of it, I'll put it up because it's really gross.
Yeah, well, mosquitoes are disgusting. I believe that, fact check me on this, but I'm pretty sure I read that they've killed more people on this planet than any person ever could.
Like with the spread of diseases or something?
Yeah. So you have... well, as we talked before, that the male mosquito doesn't actually suck blood.
Right.
It's the female mosquito. The male mosquito has the crappy job. His job is to fly around it's the one flying around your face and your ears, and you're trying to swat it. It's the kamikaze of the species. And then the female ones, because they're pregnant, it's only the ones that are pregnant for babies. So they'll actually just sit there and feed off you and feed the little mosquito babies.
Yeah, it's weird that you typically, I don't think that you feel them going in. You feel their little, whatever that thing's called, coming out. You don't feel it when it goes in, though.
Yeah,
that's when you catch them. Is you feel it when it comes out.
Yeah, but I guess they've killed a lot more people than people have killed people, apparently. But, fact check that.
People have killed a lot of people.
Yeah. But mosquitoes.
No, guns kill people. Don't you know that? Yeah, I think, man, there's so many bugs that I hate. I think they're all, well, I don't want to say they're all disgusting, but like 95% of them I just can't stand. Like, I hate bugs.
I like ladybugs. They're cute.
I like dragonflies. That's why I wouldn't answer mosquitoes. What are dragonflies going to eat if all the mosquitoes are gone?
Well, remember, that's why I said I had to eliminate all that, like the ecosystem and the effect of everything, because, if you take that out, I was just going for the most annoying, because you knew I would think about that too. But yeah, dragonflies are awesome.
What are the...
They're a majestic bug. Can we do such a thing?
Gnats that are like when you're walking through the grass and then they just like come up in swarms? Is that gnats?
So,
yeah, chiggers are the ones that bite your ankles.
I don't really experience them so much. But yeah, I think it would be like that. Whatever are the ones that like fly up and they're really, really tiny and you can breathe them in.
Gnats.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Mine would probably be gnats.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking, because I was also thinking,
those are garbage bugs.
that I didn't want to get rid of dragonflies. I didn't want to starve them. I was also kind of thinking, like, if I go out somewhere, and there's bugs out there, then it's not nearly as annoying as if they're in my home. Right. So I was kind of thinking of some of the stuff that like invades the home, like ants and roaches and fleas and lice and all that other stuff.
You just want that stuff out of your house.
Yeah.
Oh, lice. That's a great one.
No, it's not, actually. It's a horrible one.
It's a great choice to execute.
I keep bringing this up, but
genocide.
I saw a picture of a microscopic view of lice. And man, that was terrifying.
You're making me itch.
Amanda just looked at me like she's a little grossed out by me talking about that.
Yeah, but...
Because what? Because I'm around it all the time. Oh, with the kids and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that I'd choose is probably cockroaches. It says any type of insect, and if we're going to be getting rid of all the cockroaches and those giant ones that are like wood roaches and all that stuff too.
The one that I smashed.
Yeah.
So what are they good for? Do they just eat garbage?
I don't know.
Because I think they help like decompose like all the garbage and stuff that we throw away.
Yeah, there's other bugs for that. There's other bacteria and things.
Yeah, just get rid of the roaches. We don't need them.
Yeah.
I just like mosquitoes because they may not invade the home as much, but they invade my skin and my bloodstream, and I don't like it.
Wait, if you get rid of the bug or the cockroaches, then Betty White won't have anything to rule whenever.
From that one episode,
that episode.
From Queen Betty, yeah.
Yeah. They won't have anything to eat on that movie Snowpiercer either. That's rough.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Snowpiercer, go watch it. It's Chris Evans, isn't it?
Why not? Don't watch it.
Is it Chris Evans?
Yeah, it's Chris Evans.
So the whole reason I went and watched that movie was because Daniel Tosh said over and over and over again in his show Tosh.0 not to watch it. I went and watched it. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was good.
I agree with Daniel Tosh.
You don't like it? What's wrong with it?
I like really good stories. I like really good characters, and all the characters were flat. It wasn't a very good story.
What does that say about
really
me?
Bad thing. Like the whole thing.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I guess I'm the type of person that's like, I don't really need that for a story, like for a movie or whatever. I'm just like, as long as it's fun and stuff blows up, and there's like robots and stuff, I think I'm alright with it.
Yeah, I think that's probably why you liked it, is because it was futuristic.
Yeah, I love dystopian stuff, just because you think about what it's going to be like in that time period. I really like the dystopian stuff.
It goes along with your mindset, because we have different strengths, and we're content guys. So for us, content has to be stimulating, and yours is the video.
Yeah, mine's more visual.
Yeah. So spoilers ahead on the movie he just told you to watch. I knew he was losing his arm at the very beginning of the movie. Right at the very beginning, I'm like, oh, I wonder how he's going to lose his arm. I just predicted every single thing because it was just so, everything.
Are you talking about the guy that they stuck his arm out the window?
No, I'm talking about Chris Evans.
I don't remember him losing his arm. Have you seen it?
No, but I know all about it because, ironically enough, the very last meeting we had for our writing group, you guys explained it to me.
Yeah.
How did he lose his arm?
Saving that little kid that was sitting there being part of the engine.
Oh, at the very end of the movie. Okay, yeah.
So I'm saying,
so I think
at the very beginning when he was talking about how he was trying to eat a baby, The old guy cuts off his arm, and he's like, "It wasn't me. I wish I was that guy." I'm like, "Oh, cool! You get to lose your arm in this movie." Like,
you're all about the foreshadowing. You're like, "Yeah, I know what's gonna happen."
Well, yeah, there's a difference between foreshadowing and just
giving away
explaining the whole plot.
Right.
In the movie.
Well, no, I think what happened was I fell asleep right at the end of the movie. The second time I watched it, and the first time I watch any movie, I typically don't follow the plot at all. I just look for like cool visual stuff. Yeah. Second time I tried to follow it, I think I fell asleep because I was like real tired. So I didn't even see that part at the end. So I was like, I didn't even remember that he lost his arm.
Yeah, that was the end.
I think that's why we're such a good team, is because we're so opposite on everything that one will catch the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
For its quality in one aspect or another, would be content or.
Well, I love how we talked about bugs to Snowpiercer, which I guess kind of makes sense because that was their food source. Spoiler. If you haven't seen,
only the poor people ate roaches.
Yeah, the rich people ate other people.
No,
I'm just kidding. No, well, yeah.
No, they had a whole car that was full of like plants, another car that was full of animals, and they were eating well up in the rich part.
Oh yeah. It's just like all the other dystopian movies where they're all sorted by their financial class.
Yeah,
as you do.
Well, you know,
all right. We are right now too, but it's not the future.
Spend more, you get
That's
more.
That's why I'm at the head of the table. Oh, you're not talking about us.
No. Next, if question.
Do it.
This one's a little darker. And if you had to lose one of your 5 senses, which one would you give up?
I've thought about this before.
Well, to me, that's kind of easy. Well, no, it's not. I mean,
I think mine would be smell.
Mine would be smell as well. I mean, I already have a poor sense of smell and hearing.
You got a bad smeller?
Yeah. So, which is probably why I have such freakishly superhuman vision. But those senses already suck. So, I mean, I'll just finish them out. You know, but if you don't smell, you can't taste as well either because those senses are tied. So, I mean, I wouldn't enjoy my McDonald's as much.
It'd still taste okay, but the smell is like a big part of it. Yeah.
Which happens in your elderly years anyway.
Right.
You lose your taste. So,
well, in the future, though, pretty soon, we're probably going to have those little electrodes that you can plug into your brain, and it just automatically makes smells for you.
Yeah, I mean, because if you lost your sight and your hearing, your quality of life just plummets. Plus, you wouldn't be able to watch or subscribe to just play nonsense and enjoy it. Because
hey, the audio podcast. I mean, why not?
If you lost your hearing, yeah. But you could.
You could watch the videos.
We'd have to subtitle for our fans because we care.
Yeah. I think YouTube does automatic subtitles, but usually they're not super correct.
Yeah. I've noticed that on like some of the shows that I've watched on our TV. Yeah. I'll read the subtitles and it's not even close to what they said. They'll be like you must air dry this material, and what it'll come out is you must tiger stripe your material, and you're like, what?
So I can tell you why that happens.
Why is that?
So I work in television production. Like I make a TV show every 2 weeks, and I have to send it off for closed captioning. And what I do is that we send it to the least expensive closed captioner simply because it legally has to be captioned.
Right.
So we pay $1 per minute of the show. So for a 58-minute show, we pay $58. And then they send it back to us, and we're like, it's close enough, because it just legally has to have it. And I don't know if there's a percentage of it that has to be right, but that's what we do. So I wonder if they do the same thing.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
something to Google.
Yeah, go ahead and Google that. That would definitely be mine would be smell.
So what you guys? So
I guess smell. I guess it wasn't as thought provoking as I thought it would be, but I guess it probably would be smell for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to lose my other.
Most smells I don't like anyway. Like if it's not.
Is it because they're too strong?
Yeah, most of the time it's too strong. Especially like any colognes or perfumes or most of the stuff that comes out of those like little scentsy things in the wall. Like all that. Like, is this because it's unnatural?
Just smells like chemicals to you?
Yeah, I mean, if you had like a whole wall that was a vine of honeysuckle, that would be like the best room ever, But
because it's natural.
Yeah, and it's honeysuckle.
I used to hate the smell of like freshly cut grass.
I like that.
When I was a kid, I hated it. I don't know why. And I hated the smell of like things burning, like if there was like smoke blowing through the town or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I got to thinking about it, and I didn't like it because I never really like. I want to say the smoke one. I never really experienced it because I lived in the city. You can't burn stuff out there in downtown in the city. But when I moved here, it's like people burn stuff. They burn like wood, and leaves and branches and stuff. And then now it's like, oh my gosh, that smells so good.
Oh yeah,
because it's like the wood.
It's like the season's coming.
Yeah,
it's like eggnog for your nose. It's a seasonal thing that you get to enjoy.
I wonder if the reason I hated it was because when I lived in Houston, people would just burn garbage. Like there'd be probably burning garbage, and that's why I was like, man, smoke is gross.
Well, I used to box, right? And so I broke my nose, 3 times and like 3 good breaks. And I think I got a deviated septum. So I only smell like faintly out of one side. So to me, it'd be like, no, just get rid of my smelling.
Get rid of the other side too.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, let me just see the smells. It's fine.
All right. What's next? Okay.
If you had to choose the single most valuable thing you've ever learned, what would it be?
Whoa. Respect for others.
Something you want to pass on to your children. Like what is this big thing? As soon as you can teach them, you're going to teach them. You want to tell everybody about.
That's a great question.
So I think the first thing that came to mind for me is it's probably not going to be super profound, but this is how I feel. And I feel like it's a heavily, I don't want to say debated, but like I feel like other people are going to have differing opinions. I feel like I don't prioritize work. My friends and my family always come first. And there are so many people that are like the work culture. They're just like, I'm always tired. I'm always like, you have to put in 80 hours a week and you blah, 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 or you're not a man, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to be alive on this planet one time. I'm not going to spend it like working constantly. Right. I understand people like you have to build stuff. You have to like, whatever you want to do, whatever your goal is, if you want to achieve it, you have to work for that. But I'm not going to kill myself.
In other words, like definitely have work ethic and get stuff done, but don't make your priority work.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
That's exactly it. So that's what I want to teach my kids, is actually just understand that you have one life. A lot of people will say that, oh, you only have one life to live. You're obviously not getting it. One life, you're done at the end of this. That's it. You're done. So don't spend your life, don't waste your life. Like, working for somebody else or like disregarding everybody else. The whole purpose is to love people and to build relationships. Like, don't spend your time locked away working all the time.
Interesting. It's a tough question.
You're gonna give us a tough answer?
I just want to say pineapples.
That's a tough question.
On pizza?
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Pineapples on pizza.
He said yes.
That was a mistake. You talking about me or him?
What?
Me or him?
He.
Oh, because I said yes on accident.
Yeah. He said yes on purpose. What does that say about him?
Do you like pineapples on pizza?
What the heck? That's like a staple to like.
You know what you put on pizza? Meat.
Yeah, right here.
And pineapples. Is my hair sticking?
No, that was me I was waiting for you to come with the high five, and I was going to do the little 80s thing. But you didn't high five me, so I guess
the most valuable thing I learned is don't eat pizza with Michael Ward.
That's the most valuable thing you can teach your kids?
Yeah. I don't want them to see the atrocities.
Dave, striked up, bro. Yeah, you don't want them to enjoy their pizza too much. You want to keep it on here because then they might get obsessed with pizza. I see what you're doing now. Yeah,
that was a good flip.
That was wisdom, bro.
Yeah, that was a good flip.
That's a really good question. You should answer first so I can think about it.
So, yeah. There's a couple of things, but I think the biggest thing is to be intentional about what you do.
Ooh, absolutely.
Because I think, you kind of hit on it where, you need to know what your priorities are. And for a long time in my life, I knew what my priorities were, but I wasn't intentional about acting out that way. I would just kind of go with the flow and all my priorities would go to the wayside where I knew what I should be doing, but I didn't do that. I know I should be more involved with the kids when they're home and, I'm able to, but it would just be, either playing video games or scrolling on the phone or whatever. And then, there's times where I knew I needed to sit down and type up a story that I wrote, but it would just go months on end without me doing it. And so being intentional about the things that you're doing, I think, is huge. You can sit around and waste so much time doing nothing.
Which I've done. A lot of us have.
That actually, even just now, that like hit a spot for me that made me like, okay, you're right. The priorities, I have my priorities fairly set, but I'm not intentional about anything. I'll just like go with whatever happens. That's like my main thing that I do a lot of times is I'll just go with whatever happens. So it's like if it's so hard to keep your train of thought when these
When
things
there's a walk
happen.
on the table,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be walking on the table.
So you two both have busted up puns already, and I'm usually the pun guy, and I haven't busted up one yet. You guys are both
I
just
think you're
cranking
rubbing
them out.
off on us.
I like it.
I'm rubbing off on Mike.
Are you?
I'm the
Is
pun
that,
guy.
is that your foot the whole time?
I'm the pun guy.
What?
I'm the pun guy.
Are we going to have a pun battle? We should have a pun battle episode.
Well, yeah, that'd be good, but not right now because we're kind of in a serious discussion.
He's trying to be intentional about what he's saying to me right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
And you're just doing whatever.
I got to be intentional because it's my thing. I intended and told the viewers that I would bring a prop out in every episode at random. So it was intentional.
I wonder if we're ever going to run out of items for him to pull out.
There's too many things in the world.
I guess that's true.
He could just bring the world in.
Yep.
Good luck with that. But yeah, so that's something that I got from what you just said is that I definitely need to be more intentional about how I prioritize things and what I do to make sure that they'll stay a priority.
Yeah, I needed that one too.
Yeah.
I got my answer now. I stalled long enough.
Good.
Relationships. Make your number one focus relationships. So it's more of a like, if you're trying to progress here, like to get something done, but your relationship's suffering with your wife or your kids or your buddy, handle that before you do anything else. Always make relationships, and that will bring you to success and everything. So I guess my number one thing I pass on is, as far as human values, would be, because I have spiritual values as well that I prioritize over that. But as far as like just the run of the mill in life, something to guide you along your path, is to make sure that you always put a high focus and high standard on how you uphold your relationships.
Like it.
So
I completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. So one of the cool things about this book that my brother used to carry around is that it can take you from one subject to completely next. Like, so we're gonna do a gear change here, and let's see. If you had to choose the best television show ever made, what would it be? The best ever made. There's a lot of them.
I have one the first one that popped into my head, and I feel like it's my absolute favorite, but it's like real close tied with another one. But I think this one is the number one. And I thought I saw Amanda look at me like she knows what my answer is going to be.
Well, yeah, everybody in the room knows that's The Office.
No.
No?
Nope.
Was that the one that was really close to then?
No, actually, it's not.
Why do you watch it like every season, every day?
I love it. It's just what goes on in the background. Amanda, what's mine? 30 Rock. Oh, no. Oh, I thought you knew me better than that. Hashtag disappoint.
Sorry, it's another one.
30 Rock.
No, it's not 30 Rock. It's Black Mirror.
Oh man, I should have known that.
Black
Cyberpunk
Mirror.
dystopian future stuff.
That was hiding in my subconscious.
But what's
I
funny
knew that, but
is that it's tied. It's almost tied with Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is the other one I was gonna say.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is
that's
that's
the one I
my.
forgot that I should have said as well.
Yeah.
Those are mine. But Black Mirror is absolutely amazing because it's kind of like the title gives it to you. It holds up a black mirror to society and shows you like the dark side of what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure we can see that on camera, that TV back there.
Possibly.
It's Black Mirror. It's about how, we're reflected in technology. That's the whole, whole purpose of it. Yeah.
Mine's, because the concept's awesome. It had such a magical
Bonanza.
thing. When I was a kid.
Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Bonanza.
Highlander.
Okay.
Nice.
There can only be one. Okay.
Here's the thing. It was a TV series, so I'll give it to you, but it was the movie that was awesome, not the TV series.
Oh, well, I actually like the TV series as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. Even though my wife and I disagree on this, I am more of a Connor McLeod than I am a Duncan McLeod. I'm more the movie guy. Mm-hmm. However, that series was just freaking awesome. And I loved how it all ended in both the movie, main Highlander, and the TV one came together, and it was just an awesome movie. But it's okay. So this is how you know I'm getting old. Because most of the viewers aren't going to know what Highlander is, or at least a good portion of them.
Hey, everybody.
What are you insulting our viewers for?
Hey, everybody.
I know
comment.
you guys know what it is.
Well, here's why.
Hold on real quick. Comment down below with how old you think Michael is. Go ahead.
This many.
You can't do that, you cheater.
He just said 42. That's okay.
What? I did? So I didn't. So gotcha. So, okay, so here's the thing, right? So one day I was at roll call at work, which is they take attendance. And I made a comment, and it was a freaking spot-on joke. And I referenced Highlander. And no one laughed. And I'm like, that was pretty funny. And I go, and so I had a second guess. I'm like, do you guys not know who Highlander is? And everybody's like, what's Highlander? I'm like, oh my. And then, ready for this? Second occurrence. Last week ago, I was at Panera Bread.
Last week ago?
Or not Panera Bread. It was last week ago. And so I was at McAllister's. It wasn't Panera Bread. It was McAllister's, right? I guess they're mixed up because they both have bread. Mm-hmm. So
I do the same thing. I get them mixed up too.
So I go there. They're big about bread and tea. So anyway.
McAllister's tea for the win.
Yeah. So I go there, and you know how you can give them your name, and they'll call it out? And I never give my real name because it's a chance to just kind of throw something out there and make somebody say something dumb. So they go, your name? And I looked at him, and I go, Highlander, because when it comes to this order, I can be the only one. There could be only one. And the 19-year-old college-looking kid looks at me and goes, okay, sir. And I'm like, you know, because Highlander, the movie. And he go, or no, I go, you know, because Highlander. And he goes, okay. I'm like, do you know what Highlander is? And he goes, it's a car, isn't it? And I go, good Lord, just call my name. And I walked off. I was like, oh, I'm old.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I was gonna make a joke about it, but you already said the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though they're in roll call, I guess I wasn't there, you know, and nobody knew about it because there could be only one. See. Anyway.
Hold for sound, dear Lord.
I'm gonna get made fun of for a while.
Okay, go ahead.
The best TV show, I don't know.
You gotta have an answer.
Do I have to have an answer?
Yes.
Let's see.
We will sit here and wait.
There's a lot of different things that I think about when I think of a TV show. You know, and I think the reason why I'm gonna be picking this one is because they had...
Is yours like Jeopardy or something?
No. They had a story they wanted to go with, and it was 3 seasons long, and they ended it at 3 seasons because that's how long the story was. Right?
Okay.
Now, I probably would have said Supernatural if it was 5 seasons long, because that's the story they wrote. And then they just went off on huge tangents because they didn't have a story. Right? They had a complete story for 5 seasons.
Right.
And that was a great thing. But
I think that's when I
now they're in
out was 5 seasons.
Yeah. Because they beat the devil. Anyway. Story that I'm thinking about that I think is really good is Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a cartoon.
Man, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Just go ahead and say it again.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I was gonna say that.
Anyway.
That was really good.
Yeah. I mean the
Oh, now who knows who now? Pineapples? What's going on?
So anyway, they had a story they wanted to tell. They told it, and it was like all the characters, you could see the development and how they built and how they changed. You know, they had all good story arcs, and it was something that was really gripping. And it was, you know, I like different universe stuff because they can do a lot of world building, and they did.
Right.
Expand on everything that they could do in that world, and I thought it was really, really well done.
That's awesome. I've never seen it, and I've tried. Is it anime or is it just a cartoon?
It's a Korean studio that does it. It's considered a cartoon, but it's close enough to anime that a lot of people call it that.
Yeah, I've never tried to watch it. Mm-hmm. I might give it a shot since there's 2 of my friends that really like it.
Yeah, it's 21 and a half hours long if you want to watch all of it. So
I'll do that in one day.
Yeah. Anyway, that's one that I liked. So, I picked this one mostly for Rob, but I was wondering if Mike had one. If you could describe the worst job interview in your life, what would it have been for?
Oh man, I told you this story?
You've told me one, you know.
Was that the car place?
Yeah, it was that one. That's the one that I was thinking of.
That's definitely my worst one. I didn't know if it was the worst one. So. That's definitely the worst one.
Wait, what?
I think I've told you the story before too. So we're just telling the story of our worst job interview, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you to follow up on if you just say for the car place.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely going to follow up. So do you want me to tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking for a new job and I wanted it to be in video production. So I found out this place was hiring and they were going to create a position for me. And it was going to be the video production. I was going to travel from dealership to dealership and shoot their commercials for their local dealerships. And I had an idea. And when I went in, I had an idea and I told them, I said, what if we model our local commercials like the national ones so that they kind of have the same vibe? Like if we're trying to sell a Nissan, let's look at the Nissan commercials and like kind of match their quality and their style so that it feels like a Nissan commercial instead of having that one guy out there that's like, you come see us. You know that guy? So because like who wants to watch a guy standing out talking in front of a car on a windy day in the middle of the rain? Like or it's when it's about to rain. That's not a good commercial. Anyway, so
repeating deals every
right.
sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I went into this interview and I thought I did a great job. I actually met with the owner and his assistant. So I was sitting there talking to him and we were having a good interview and I gave him a couple things. I even made a quote from Firefly for those of you who guys like that show.
That would have been my other one.
It's the quote was one of the questions he asked me. I'm making the story longer, but anyway. So one of the questions the owner asked me was, what's something we could do differently to make sure that people keep coming back? And I said there was a quote that I heard on a TV show that said, "Don't brand the cattle, brand the buyer. They're the ones likely to stray." And I was like, that is so smart. That's Joss Whedon. That's a toss out to you. If you're watching, hashtag Joss Whedon.
And subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. Anyway, so
tell your fans about us.
I'm just trying to build up the how the interview went. Like I thought it was going really well, and then
it's a freaking coronavirus, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, where's my mask?
It's a beautiful cough.
No. Thanks.
So I was in this interview and they asked me. They said, "Okay, so how much do you want to make?" And that's the epitome of all the questions, the worst question that you could get in a job interview because you're like, I don't know. But so I figured this was coming. So I went around and I asked all my friends. I was like, so how much do you think I should ask for? How much should I get for this, blah, blah, blah. And everybody gave me their answers. And then one person, I think one or two people told me to pray before I go and ask God what he thinks. And I was like, all right, well, let me give that a shot. So I prayed about it. And then I went to the interview and I felt like God told me, I don't know if he did or not, but anyway, I felt like I should ask for $64,000 a year because I'd be traveling to 6 dealerships, driving my own vehicle, using my video production skills, like all this kind of stuff, my own gear, all that stuff. And I'm like, that sounds fair to me. So I went to this job interview and they asked me the question. They said, how much do you want to make? And I said, all right, before I tell you that, let me tell you this. I started praying about it and I asked God and I told him that whole story. And then while I was doing that, tears started streaming down my face. Because anytime I talk about something that is incredibly meaningful to me, I can't hide it. Yeah. I will cry.
That's what I like about you, though.
Yeah, I cannot hide my feelings. If I don't like you or if I'm upset with you, you will know it because I can't hide it. If I like you, you might know it. Actually, I'm sure you know it. If I like you, you'll definitely know it. So
because you'll cry and hug me and say, I like you.
Your sleeve will be all wet and covered in snot. But yeah, no, so these tears started running down my face and I'm like, I thought about it and I was like, I'm literally crying in the middle of a job interview right now in front of 2 people that I've never met before. Man, that's cheesing out back there. So I stopped for a second and I put my hand like this and I was like, please don't judge me for this. And I didn't tell him the whole thing about God. Like I didn't tell him that I prayed. Anytime I talk about God or anything meaningful, I start crying. I didn't say that. I just said, please don't judge me for this. and I couldn't get that out. Like I couldn't organize my thoughts because I was super embarrassed and I was like worried about it. So the girl, his assistant got up and got me a Kleenex and brought me a Kleenex, which was super sweet. But the guy, the owner, he goes, I love him for this. I don't know what Michael's cheesing out about.
I can see you sitting there if not knowing any of that. And you're going, how much do you want to get paid? And you just start crying.
That's literally how I imagine it. That's what I pictured. Now Michael's crying. Pineapples. So anyway, so after I said, please don't judge me for this, he goes, don't worry. If I was going to judge you, it would be in the positive. And I was like, that is amazing.
That guy should run for mayor.
Now, that was my worst job interview. Now, here is another story that's based on that same guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. My friend Michael, Michael Drake, one of my best friend before he passed away and before I met this Michael, he had cystic fibrosis, and he and his wife, Suzanne, they needed to go to St. Louis regularly. So my brother, Randy, was like, I'm going to help them out. He wrote like 13 letters and sent them out to different car dealerships and was like, hey, my friend has cystic fibrosis. We need to get them a car. Can you help us out? Nobody answered back except this guy that I interviewed with. I didn't know this at the time.
Huh.
So
it's funny how God works, and you don't see that what you reveal could be something to.
Well, so it's
cool.
So they sent a letter or an email back to my brother, but he didn't get it because for some reason it ended up in a spam folder. So that guy, the owner of that dealership, the one who interviewed me that I cried in front of, he said, I need you to find, a couple weeks later, he goes, we haven't heard from them yet. I need you to go find this person and get a hold of them. So he had whoever it was is in charge of the communications at the dealership, went and found my brother and sent him an email, made sure and called him and like just to make sure that he got it. And they went out and got a hold of him and gave Michael and Suzanne a car for a year. They gave them a car for a year, a rental car for a year, and that owner of that place paid for it out of his own pocket.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then I went and had an interview with him and I cried in front of him.
I've only met him a couple of times, but I know he helped straighten your cousin out on the path that he was headed down as far as politics go.
Nice.
Got him to switch parties.
He's a good dude.
It's amazing.
Should we say who he is, or does
No.
it matter?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, if you know how he would feel about that,
Yeah, I'm not sure how he would.
then I'd leave it lay. But it's cool though. Is on that train of thought before I moved, because I don't want to go too far on a straight up. That's just it's a good point to make. Is once again, when I said earlier, you asked me the value to pass on relationships. When you have meaningful moments with people, it echoes out.
Like crying in an interview. I mean,
Yeah.
that is
It's like
meaningful for somebody.
I wonder how many times they have told that story to their friends or other people that they met.
know.
They're like, I interviewed this guy and he started crying when I asked him how much money
I'm
he wanted.
gonna mention your name to his assistant next time I see her.
Yeah,
But I have seen her a few times recently.
I remember her because I shot a Forward to the Future Summit. It was a 2-day event, and I was hired to shoot that event, and she was the one person that I remember from being there.
Yeah.
When I went into the interview, I was like, "Were you at this thing?" And she goes, "Yeah, that was me." So that was interesting. She just came out of nowhere.
Oh, I remember how.
She was also on the show here.
Oh yeah.
She was on the show. She was one of the first people who her Samsung Galaxy Note 7 exploded. You remember when the whole thing with the batteries were exploding?
Yeah.
You couldn't take them on airplanes and stuff. Hers was one of the first ones. It exploded on her bedside and caught on fire while they were asleep.
If she had cried on it, it would have been cool.
It's a good thing I don't care what people think about me.
What do you think? You have any bad interviews?
Okay, so
That was a fun story.
me, not really, but I'm gonna tell this one because first of all, I really adore and love my little sister Ashley, like very much. But this is an interview that she did, and I say this because my sister is very intelligent. She's super witty, really clever. But sometimes when people get nervous, they kind of
Cry.
no, well that too. They just kind of don't think about what they're saying. So she went to an interview to a job place I won't name. And she goes in an interview, and when my sister gets nervous, like I do, she starts like going like that, starts talking a lot, and fills that void space of silence with more information. And so she's sitting in an interview, and she goes, after they get done with it, he's like, "Do you have any other questions?" And she goes, "Yeah, what's the drug test?" Now the person who did the interview knows my wife.
Right.
It goes, yeah, she did really well in the interview, but I think because she asked boldly and twice about the drug test, that they were suspicious of drug use, so they didn't give her the job.
Oh, no.
She's like, okay, well, that went really well, so, any other questions? What's the drug test?
How long do I have to detox?
And she doesn't do drugs.
Right,
So
right.
it's just nervousness, just trying to think of something to...
I have a story about that. So at this place I used to work, the gas station I used to work at, I've never ever touched drugs my whole entire life. Nothing, none of them. They just not interest me at all. So in 2 months, I had 2 random drug tests in 2 months. And I'm like, literally everybody else I work with is on drugs except me, and you're going to test me twice in 2 months. Like, come on.
That's probably because they had to do them, so they picked the guy that they thought would pass because they didn't want to have to.
They didn't want to fire everybody else.
Because I mean, I don't do drugs anymore at all. I'm a different kind of man, but I've went all across the board with drugs back in the day. So,
Yeah.
I know, like I've made friends with those kinds of people, so I know, like, it's part of their lifestyle. So they go to a job, it's like this thing they're nervous about all the time, and then like you get the one guy.
And the drugs make
like,
you paranoid too, so you're just like worried about.
Some of them do, yeah.
It's funny. When I was going through the book, one of the questions was, if you had to admit to a crime you've already committed, what would it be? And I didn't put that one in there because we're recording, but hey,
we've already admitted to plenty of crimes we've committed, like Michael stealing a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I wanted it. I was gonna say needed. That's not
you
true.
don't understand. I want it really bad.
Here's a little
it's called
funny.
the mic chair.
This might not be considered an anecdote, but it's a funny little observation. Currently, in Michael's garage, is a wheelchair.
But it's a special edition one.
I'm not saying that it's one that he stole.
Well, I was sitting one day. I was outside of a place that had a sign that said free wheelchairs. And, just kind of sitting out there. I'm like, oh, it's an extra. So I threw it in the back of the truck, and I was like, because I've always wanted a wheelchair, because they're neat, Yeah, to me, I don't see it.
And I fit really well in that double wide one, too.
Yeah, and I thought,
I sat in it for a while.
Me and Rob can both enjoy this thing.
That's why.
It's like I took it from a handicapped person, it was just they're straight. And I was like, this is destiny. So I closed it up, threw it in the back of the truck, and now it's called the mic chair. And I just kind of roll around in it when I'm trying to think, and it serves a purpose. It wasn't a vain theft.
Yeah.
Deep theftery.
Theftery.
I like it a lot. I love it. Actually, it's my favorite chair.
Yeah, I remember.
I might start bringing on here so that I can just kind of. When you guys go in tangents, so like you guys were talking, I don't need to say anything. I'm just willing after that come back, like, yeah.
And then you get somebody who like starts watching our podcast from that episode, and they're like, "Oh, he's in a wheelchair."
Because here's the thing, right? Like, I don't look at it as like, oh, when I see someone in a wheelchair, I don't look at somebody who's less than me. You know what I mean? So like to me, I think like that's one cool thing they get in life that they get to use. They may wish that they could walk wherever, but they also have something interesting. It's an interesting thing, and I enjoy to take time to enjoy the interesting things that other people may not get to enjoy. So to me, I think it's more of a respect thing than a disrespect thing. I really enjoy my wheelchair.
Oh, so speaking
you
of
respect people that can't walk so much, you took their ability to roll around.
No, because I didn't steal it from a person.
I stole it from a curbside.
Looked like they had a bunch manufactured. Nobody was using it. It's not like I knocked some dude out of it. It was like, mine. Hey, it's Gage.
Gage is here. And Carol's here.
Carol's here too. She came last. I didn't see her. She was lingering.
Hey, you can move those pillows if you guys want to sit down.
So, what's our time looking like? We got one more question?
Oh, yeah, we got plenty of time.
We do, yeah. To fit within the 45, 50-minute bracket, we're good.
Real quick.
We start at 6:53.
To go along with what you were saying with the whole, like, disabilities thing, I don't know how to say it properly, but there was I order a lot of Grubhub and DoorDash and stuff, and this guy, one of the guys that came to deliver my food one time, he's deaf. And I can only say a couple things in sign language. Like I can say I'm sorry and thank you, and that's an apple, and that's it. That's all I know.
That's all you need. It's apple.
So this dude, he came up and he knocked on the door, and I answered it, and then I was like, "Oh, hey man, how's it going?" I didn't realize he was deaf at the time. I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then he like tried to signal to me that he tripped over my step on his way in. So he like acted it out. And I was like, what is going on right now? I didn't quite understand what he was doing. And then he pointed at the step because it was dark outside, and I have motion activated lights, and he hadn't quite gotten to the point yet for it to turn on. And I felt so bad that I was like trying to get this dude that just almost fell down to like explain to me what just happened when he was trying to deliver my food to me. Yeah.
What's crazy? Well, my another sister I have a lot of siblings. No, but I have another sister, right? I have a lot of sisters and stuff. That's siblings, but all over the place. But so I have another one, and her passion is she wanted to learn sign language so she could communicate, and help. And I was like, man, that's awesome because, like, it's a good skill to have because you never know, when you're in that situation. It'd be nice to have somebody connect on that level.
Right.
So, it's another thing that's kind of cool to learn. That would be just like the wheelchair thing. I'd like to experience learning sign language and get into that world and kind of,
Yeah, so Amanda knows a little bit of sign language. She might be able to teach you some stuff.
Really?
And my brother...
Oh, wait, I think I did remember her saying it before.
My brother, Mikey, he took ASL classes in college, and I know a little bit from him from having to study with tests and stuff, because he used to be my roommate.
You know, if you're in a land of deaf people, really the only thing that you really need to know is, like, toilet.
You gotta go to the bathroom. TT.
You should be like grabbing your butt and shaking it out.
Yeah, dude, it's hard to tell.
It's right here.
You're doing the Macarena? What's going on over there? Pineapples.
So, we're talking about disabilities. Next question.
Wait, you didn't answer.
What?
Your worst job interview? Did you do that one?
Oh, I guess I didn't. I haven't really had very many bad job interviews. So, I mean, mine it would be pretty boring. But it was basically...
or the theft one.
What's that?
Did you answer the theft one?
What theft one?
There
was no thieving question.
Didn't you ask what's the thing that we have stolen in the past?
No, I said the one that I wasn't going to put on there was.
Well, we answered it. Well, you answered it.
Yeah.
I've committed no crimes.
It's good. Yeah. Your mic's still on, so
I deleted them, but I had.
You deleted the crimes?
Yep.
You got to tell me how to do this.
Yep.
For other people.
Have you seen Minority Report? That's pretty much it. No, I deleted them because I felt convicted and I needed to get rid of them. And actually, my whole business, my video production business, stopped. I had $15,000 worth of software that I had downloaded, I'd pirated to get I could actually run my business. I was running it on the Adobe Creative Suite, and I had like 3D modeling software and all this kind of stuff. And I felt convicted. I was like, I can't run my business like this. So I got rid of it all. I told my clients, I was like, I can't make anything for you until I get the software back.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, though.
And then I found a computer on eBay that had it on there already. It was coming from an old design firm. They were getting rid of their old computers, and I bought one that already had it on there. So I was able to actually get started again a couple months later.
So
now everything is legit, Adobe. You hear that? It's all legit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't committed any crimes in a while, but it'd be along the same vein as...
Just pick one the statute of limitations have run out on.
Yeah. Drugs that I shouldn't have done. How about that? There you go.
Fair enough.
That'll work.
We're crime twins.
Mm-hmm.
I just unplugged my headphones for no reason.
All right, go ahead.
As in the past.
The whole world went silent.
Anyway, so we're talking about disabilities. How we talk about supernatural. If you could possess one supernatural ability, what would it be? I know this is a common one that we debate. I don't know if you guys.
I think you and I talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
And I know what mine is. Like it's straight
I know
up,
mine is too.
Yeah.
You want to say them at the same time and see if we can become twins?
Okay, ready?
We'll have to do it right when our hands touch.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Telekinesis.
Invisible.
Mm-hmm.
It's telekinesis straight up. Because like not only can I move stuff, but I'd be able to move myself and I could fly.
Mm-hmm.
Might be to go invisible.
Okay. Tell me how you would earn money with that.
Earn money?
Yeah.
Well, I can earn money with that. I was going to have a lot of different reasons. I had more prioritized reasons why. But to earn money, I mean, think about it. If you go to say you're an assassin,
mm-hmm.
right? You go Blackwater or whatever, and you're like, hey, look, watch this. Boom. You go invisible, come back, boom. I can go invisible. Now, anything you want done, I can do. And I'll be undetected and no one will never get traced back to because I'm a ghost. Literally. And at moments.
Is your invisibility better than that one dude that was on League of Extraordinary Gentlemen where you're only invisible when people aren't looking at you?
No. Well, I would just keep clothes stashed away somewhere because I don't want to turn invisible somewhere and just be naked. But you can't cry because it'd be visible.
Yeah, your clothes are just floating.
So, I've thought about this, right? So I would just stash them away somewhere. So
tell me the reasons why you want to be invisible.
Okay, that's the fun part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so kind of a prankster, but one is I think I would, if someone's like, I think my girlfriend's cheating on me. I could be bro and be
You'd
like.
be a straight up PI.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I would go and be like, I would go invisible. Another way to make money, by the way, right? But I would go invisible and then go kind of follow around, It's kind of weird that I'm naked, but I'm the one that knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Or anybody who bumps into you.
Or you'd be like, you know what, hey, I wonder what's going. You could also make money by knowing the lottery by going to the room and when they're generating the machine, just go in there and check. There's all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so you could help people out, but you can go figure stuff out that people need. Or I would go fight crime because I would go vigilante. I would straight up go in a dark alley somewhere, just butt naked and invisible, and someone be like, give me your money, to somebody, and take someone's
And you'd be
purse.
like, pineapples.
By the way, that's an inside joke that only a Patreon is going to know. So, become Patreon. Because we'll explain it on the Patreon thing.
Yeah.
So, I could sit there and be like, I can mess with my tap on the shoulder, like, what? And I don't care how big, have you got weapons, how big you are. If I'm invisible, you're not taking me. You're just
Unless
not.
they throw paint on you, then you're just like visible.
But the
now.
most rapists and murderers and muggers don't carry paint on them. So I'd be good.
What if they're a tagger and they're just spraying the side of a building and now you're exposed? They spray in the eyes.
Well, I would see him doing it, and since I'm not, not completely dumb, I'd be like, I wouldn't let them spray me.
I'm only a little bit dumb.
Yeah, I just, but I could mess with people like hardcore, but for the good,
Mm-hmm.
So like
messing with people for the good. It makes sense.
But like, they're sitting there. I'd have fun with it too, though, because I'd have that sense of confidence. So they would take someone, they would have somebody at gunpoint, and they'd be robbing a bank, and I would just go in there invisible, and then I would just nut tap them, and they'd be like, "What's happening? What's that?" It's just till they fall to the ground, and they wouldn't know what to shoot, so they'd just be like, "What's going on?" Just like,
So
well, you're naked.
naked.
Real quick, before you get too
Not
far
gay, though.
away from that, I have a story about that too.
But not
Yeah, so not
about being gay.
I mean, all right. Listen, guys, I have a confession. So, my brother got tapped like that, and he literally had to go to the hospital because it became separated from his body.
If you rob a bank, you got it coming, bro.
Yeah, your brother shouldn't have been robbing a bank.
I mean, he was at a concert.
He shouldn't have been robbing a concert.
Yeah.
No, I mean, next time I'll tell him not to rob a concert.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when I said how you can make money, being the PI would have been your answer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was one thing I was thinking about.
Or you could straight up rob banks too.
Well, I'm kind of moral in a sense. I have to. There's a certain set of morals I have to maintain, and I wouldn't feel good about that.
The only problem I see with being a PI is that are people just going to have to take your word that you saw what you saw?
Well, if it's
because most times they want pictures, and that camera's not invisible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing: you got a reputation built up. Like, dude, this guy knows, and like, you could take me at my word, and then they make the decision to fire that person and just save their career. But also, I mean, I could still take pictures. Cause I could set cameras up somewhere, go past them, walk right, especially if they're in a house somewhere. They open the door, I come in, or they don't lock, and I just walk in right beside them, naked. So, and then I'll have the camera stashed, and I'll if it's a business or something, and then pull it out, and there's real quick, just like, and put it back when they're not looking. There's all ways I can get clever with it. I could find a way to like still get the pictures, just stash them because I'll be watching for weeks. But instead of having to be in a car watching with binoculars, I'll be right there looking at them.
At least you have your reasons.
And naked.
Mm-hmm. Naked. So I could, telekinesis obviously is the best one.
Yeah.
And we could do it all with our clothes on.
Yep.
It'd be great.
So
I still won't.
We were talking the other day, and he was like, "How could you make money with that?" And I was like, "All right."
He had a great idea.
So here's what you do. Basically, you can relocate anything. So if somebody's like, "Hey, I have this skyscraper that I built, and I want it to be over here, but it's over there," so you're just like, "All right, pay me $500,000, and I'll move this ginormous skyscraper for you in 12 minutes instead of 5 years."
Yeah, because they're gonna have to either sell that skyscraper and build a brand new one or something. Because I mean, you can't really relocate giant buildings.
And you could run a training school because let's say you have people that have that gift. It would take a lot of like a regular gym membership work, but you wouldn't work regular gym membership. Sorry, Lila.
Yeah.
But you would need to be able to train and work out your mind to be able to get to the point of doing. So you could have like an Xavier X school, and you could train people to get to that point and make a lot of money
with my clothes on.
You do what you got to do, man.
I was going to ask you, since your invisibility thing is there, what if like
on the next episode, I'm probably gonna be naked.
Can we? Oh,
I'm inspired.
All right,
nice. You can blur it out.
Yeah, you're gonna be blurry through the whole entire episode.
He's gonna blur out everything but the stuff you're supposed to blur out.
He's gonna blur you completely out, and
except for my nipples,
be invisible.
And like
yeah, that way. Yeah, that's what we could do.
That way I know what it's like to be invisible.
You're gonna be invisible on the next episode.
Yes. Just blur me out the rest of this one.
No, that'd be awesome if we can find some way to make those headphones it's like float in the air a little bit.
Dude, that's easy.
Put them on a little stick.
Right?
And then he can be off behind the camera.
No, we can do it.
And he could be talking with us the whole time. We could pretend he's sitting right here.
You're not supposed to say that because that was the plan.
This is bonus footage. So we should do that, and then we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So let's make this bonus footage.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
That I can totally do that.
Yes.
Yes.
I get to be invisible.
Just for the beginning.
I'm the only one that gets my power. This is a dream come true.
Just for the beginning of the episode, not the whole thing.
Okay.
Because like I don't, it'd be boring to have a really empty chair there.
Or you should just be like, my thing is to turn people into other things. What do you guys? And you turn me into this can, and then just have the can talk.
He's just giving me more work to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So anyway, my question for you was, what if it wears off in the middle of you like doing something? What if your invisibility wears off? What if it starts glitching or something?
Well, then it's going to get weird. It's going to get real weird.
He's like standing in the middle of somebody's house. He's like getting ready to take a picture of him, and all of a sudden he's like,
what if you're relocating a building and you two are flying through the air and it wears off and you fall out of the air and the building lands on top
I
of
see
you?
what you guys are doing.
Right.
It's the episode's what if, and you're doing what if. So my question.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was totally the plan.
It's clever.
Right here.
It's clever of you two.
We did it. And yours is telekinesis as well?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have telekinesis, then not only am I bulletproof, I'm also super strong and I can fly. And
You're only bulletproof
yeah.
if you know that it's coming.
Why? No, that's the thing. Is if depending on how the ability works. I mean, if you could, turn on a field, turn off a field. I mean, that'd
require some energy though. Don't you think you probably have to be eating like cornflakes all day long just to have enough like energy and carbs and stuff to like.
You think that it takes energy?
I would assume so.
I mean, it really depends on how the power works. But I mean, if I'm able to put on a telekinetic field, then I can just put it all over my body except for some nostrils so I can breathe.
So you'd be like a fish.
Yeah.
Perfect. Pineapples. Let's go.
There was no pineapples.
No, I just like saying it.
Well, there was.
Now you're confusing me.
Yeah, because there was no pizza to put it on.
Yeah.
Pineapples. Rephrase.
Next question. Go ahead.
Next question. Okay. If you could give a single piece of advice to the film industry in Hollywood, what would you say?
You already know. Because you want me to say it?
Here's mine.
Don't say put your clothes on. You've been
Stop
talking
it.
about being naked the whole time.
I won't say that.
Okay.
Stop being political. Stop force feeding agendas, especially you, Netflix. Stop force feeding propaganda and agendas and social things to
Not
people.
sponsored by Netflix.
Well, definitely not.
Yeah, not now.
We should have entertainment to where everyone can come together. That should be the point where you all come together and we all laugh together as a species. I am tired of seeing like little backhanded comments in Hollywood. You see it too. And it's super driven in one direction. I think that's the point where we should stop trying to brainwash people, whether your ideas are good or not, and actually just leave those stuff alone and enjoy.
Yeah, stop trying to control everything.
Yeah. Especially
Just
the
let
minds of
people be.
Go ahead. What's yours?
Well, it's same thing.
Oh, is it?
But I mean, it basically, end the propaganda. That's basically what it is.
I'm going to go ahead and say that mine was the same as that.
Yeah,
as
because
well.
we've had so many like
third that
recently where it's like, finally a strong woman as the lead character and all this other stuff, and it's like, you know what's an amazing movie? Alien and Aliens and Alien 3. You know what else is a great movie? Terminator and Terminator 2. And nobody said anything about it being a strong female lead because she was a strong female. And she didn't say, I'm doing this because I'm a woman the whole time. Like it's like
she was trying to
she's
protect
a
her
great
son.
character. You know what else is great? Firefly. All the women in that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh yeah,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're going to stay on Joss
Oh, yeah, we
Whedon.
do this all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reality is, it's not that even if the cause is relevant or not relevant, the point is that we should keep political things out of in propaganda shows and let people enjoy the talent of the male or female or whatever they're trying to think. Just let people enjoy the content and enjoy the actors and the skill set in it. It drives me nuts. I see the same thing.
All right, I think that is a perfect place to end it because we have hit our time limit.
Well, hold on. He's leading the episode, so
yeah. Well, I mean, that's if we're at time. I don't want to go over time, but I have several more questions, but I mean, a lot of them are just kind of going to be rehashing some different stuff.
Okay.
But
yeah, because by the way, to explain to you guys, we're trying to shorten the episodes because that's some feedback we got because we listen to you guys and we care. So we're trying to keep them in a bracket instead of having 2-hour episodes every once in a while.
Isn't it? It's very meta. They listen to us and we listen to them.
Yeah.
That's how a relationship works, y'all.
Hi. I'm married already. I'm sorry.
Not that kind of relationship.
Okay. Cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more.
Hit that notification icon if you want information in your email. We will personally send it to you.
And we obviously do listen to you guys. So
Yeah, definitely.
I won't personally send it to him.
No, it was a joke because it gets sent out by YouTube. Because if, to all of our subscribers, there's no way we can do that.
There we go. Now he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
It's going to do so much better. Rob.
Sorry, I'm a big fat liar.
Don't make him cry.
He only cries when it's happy things. When it's something near and dear to him.
See, it's starting.
It's starting.
No, it's just sniffling. I'm not crying.
He's starting and we're ending. I'll see you guys later.
Adios.